Hey guys, it's Kyle. Welcome back to the Ramble. Today we're going to take a look at my Jeep and some of the modifications I've done to it. So to start with, the platform is a 2021 JLU Rubicon. This one comes equipped with a 3.6 liter V6 with e-torque, which is mildly disappointing, but it is there and it does function. So moving on to the exterior, we'll have a look at some of the fun stuff. We're not going to show you the interior in this video because it is currently a disaster. Working on putting in a cabinet system, so we'll get back to that in another video. So moving on to the lift, rims, and tires, all of this work was professionally done by Epic Adventure Outfitters, and quite frankly, they did an amazing job. Everything functions perfectly first day onto the trail. After one retorque, everything was absolutely fine with it. For the lift, Epic did a 3.5-inch Teraflex short arm suspension lift, complete with Falcon 3.1 shocks and the Nexus 2.1 stabilizer in the front. Wheels and tires, we went with the 17x9 Fuel Rebel rims, wrapped in 37x12.5 wide Mickey Thompson Baja Boss ATs. Absolutely phenomenal tires. Stefan can attest to that, as he needed when we went up Rady. For armor, I opted to go with the OEM JL and JT steel front bumper. All we needed to add to that was the Evil Worn 10,000 pound winch. And in the rear, we went with the Rebel off-road steel bumper. For the lighting, it's a bit of a mishmash, from RTX to Baja Designs to Rigid to even rough country. We just kind of took whatever was available in the market currently. But what's important is you've got light when you need it. So for my camping and tent setup, first we started with the Rhino Rack system, which has got the backbone support on the inside to support the weight of the tent. Then we went with the Roofnest Condor XL. Now you may have noticed that I'm running a different tent that I did in the first few videos I was in. That's because that tent I almost burnt to the ground with a buddy heater, but we're not going to talk about that. The only good part of that is that it forced me to buy a much better tent that takes about half the amount of time to set up and tear down, and a lot more comfortable too. And on the side, I went with the Rhino Rack Batwing. As you'll probably notice in the video, the zipper is broken. It went after about our third trip out with it. But luckily enough, Rhino Rack was amazing to deal with, and they're warrantying the bag. Moving on to the bits and pieces, I went with a Flowmaster snorkel, as you know, water. And being that this thing's 8 feet tall from the ground to the top of the tent, you need a little extra help getting on top of it, so I went with the Enthuse door cleats. And underneath, I went with the ARB diff covers, front and rear, as well as re-gearing it to 513. It's a little overkill for the 37s, but with all the extra weight on the vehicle, it sure makes a difference. I also upgraded the winch line due to me snapping the previous one, so this time around I went with the worn night line. So one of the questions on the sheet of paper that Stefan gave me was, how do I feel about this Jeep? No, man. Likes it so much I threw a bunch of money at it, so if you're thinking about getting one while you're watching this, you totally should, but just be prepared to be paying 2 different mortgages. But to answer your question, Stefan, how does it make me feel? Well, put it this way, you couldn't get up a mountain in a Mitsubishi Mirage and camp in it comfortably, so there's that. Makes me feel pretty good. So since there's nothing really left after answering that stupid question, I guess I'll give you an outro. My name's Kyle, thanks for watching. See you in the next Ramble.